Schopenhauer lived much of his life unseen. Through endless struggle and countless nights of questioning, he found clarity only after letting go. Perhaps that's why his words still resonate. Schopenhauer believed that true happiness begins when we accept pain, not when we escape it. He taught that when we shift our balance inward, rather than chasing the world outside, we rediscover what happiness truly means. Today, we reflect on his thoughts. Quiet truths about happiness, pain, and the calm found within ourselves. Let's begin. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. The greatest mistake a man can make is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. The two enemies of human happiness are pain and boredom. All happiness is of a negative rather than positive nature, and for this reason cannot give lasting satisfaction and gratification, but rather only ever a release from a pain or lack, which must be followed either by a new pain or by languor, empty yearning, and boredom. Happiness belongs to those who are sufficient unto themselves, for all external sources of happiness and pleasure are, by their very nature, highly uncertain, precarious, ephemeral, and subject to chance. Happiness of any given life is to be measured, not by its joys and pleasures, but by the extent to which it has been free from suffering, from positive evil. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. Happiness consists in frequent repetition of pleasure. We seldom think of what we have, but always of what we lack. The safest way of not being very miserable is not to expect to be very happy. Wealth is like seawater. The more we drink, the thirstier we become. The shortness of life, so often lamented, may be the best thing about it. Nothing is so good a protection against such misery as inward wealth, the wealth of the mind. The wise man will, above all, strive after freedom from pain and annoyance, quiet and leisure, consequently a tranquil, modest life, with as few encounters as may be. Peace of mind is impossible without a considerable amount of solitude. To be soon on friendly or even affectionate terms with solitude is like winning a gold mine. We seldom think of what we have, but always of what we lack. Therefore, rather than grateful, we are bitter. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. The more a man has in himself, the less he will want from the outside world. All willing springs from lack, from deficiency, and thus from suffering. No attained object of willing can give satisfaction that lasts. Therefore, we never obtain lasting happiness or peace. The art of not reading is a very important one. It consists in not taking an interest in whatever may be engaging the attention of the general public at any particular time. A precondition for reading good books is not reading bad ones, for life is short. The present is the only reality. The present is the only reality and the only certainty. Truth that is naked is the most beautiful, and the simpler its expression, the deeper is the impression it makes. After the age of 45, Schopenhauer settled in Frankfurt and began to live with quiet discipline, much like Immanuel Kant. No matter the weather, he rose at 7, bathed in cold water, and brewed his own morning coffee. Then he worked. Hours of reading, reflection, and writing. At 1 o'clock, he would walk to a restaurant by the River Main for a slow, luxurious lunch. In Germany, they say, "Eat your lunch richly, and your breakfast and dinner simply." He followed that wisdom, returning home for a short nap, more reading, and a quiet walk with his dog. His days ended peacefully, like still water at dusk. In 1860, at the age of 72, he passed away from pneumonia, a long life by the standards of his time. The foundation of happiness, he wrote, is health, followed by noble character, a brilliant mind, and a cheerful heart. Fame, wealth, and status, none could replace these inner treasures. Take a moment now to feel your breath and the quiet that remains. I hope your day is full of peace. Your breath house, Nowa.